What's up, everybody? What is up? We are back. We are back. Sorry for the what's the word I'm looking for here? The delay and the mistimed scheduling. I had things going on. I was sick, working, whole bunch of stuff. Uh,
You
but
got a good
we
one
are
today.
back. Yeah, we got a good show tonight. It's our 1 year anniversary. We started a year ago today, so uh, we have a good show. We're going to go over some of the games that we liked and that we saw this week in football. We'll go over some football news that we saw. Um, and special treat for all everybody tuning in. We have Nick Anderson joining the show,
And
former
Larry Brooks.
Saints. Yeah, and Larry Brooks, former Saints player. Nick Anderson, former Tulane player. Uh, and let me see real quick. But sorry, I was looking at some of the games and stuff.
All right. So you
Uh,
ready?
yeah, yeah, definitely. What do you
Go ahead
want to
and do the
start out
thing.
with?
The intro
Oh, we're
part
gonna.
for him.
Oh, okay, okay, definitely. Um, well, everybody, like I said, we have Nick Anderson joining the show. He is a former Saints player, former Tulane
Oh,
player.
I'm pretty sure he still plays for the Saints.
Uh, he might. I don't know. Um, uh,
But his
former.
Tulane career,
Yeah, he had a good Tulane career. He started out in he was at Jones College, a little JUCO college. Started out there.
ooh,
Um,
here I tell you what. Let's let him talk about it.
what is up?
What's good, my boy?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Welcome,
What's
welcome.
up? How y'all doing?
We
Pretty
good. We
good,
good.
man. Just going over, talking a little bit, somewhat about you and the intro and joining the show and everything. We appreciate you coming on.
No problem, man. Larry should be jumping on in a minute.
Okay,
Oh, dope,
okay,
dope. We wasn't sure if we was getting both y'all or we was getting one of y'all.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's jumping on in a minute. When we talking on the DMs, both of us run the page. So
Oh,
okay.
word.
yeah, so y'all be talking
Okay.
to both of us. But man, thanks for having us on tonight.
Oh, no
Oh,
problem, dude.
definitely, definitely.
You actually went on Who Effing Knows, I
Mhm.
believe. We actually went to school with David.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of a small world. So like when I seen you were on his, I was like, let me try to reach out to him, see if I can get in touch with him.
for sure, man, for sure.
So I wanted to talk to you a little bit. How long have you been doing your podcast for now?
We've been doing it roughly a little over 2 months, a little under 2 months actually.
A little under
So
two months. Okay.
we're fresh with it.
Okay. And
So
what made
what
you
what
want to
gave
start like getting into it?
yeah.
Just overall, we got the motivation from just watching different guys in the league, across the league, have different podcasts, different webinars, different shows, and we was like, man, we really could do that. And during the whole pre-draft process, we watched. Uh,
Oh, what's up, Larry?
Speaking
How's
of
it
What's
the
up,
going,
Larry
Saints,
man?
Brooks?
Appreciate you joining the show.
Oh yeah, of course.
and then like I said, during the pre-draft process, we was just sitting around and we was like, we really could do this. We really could, produce a pretty good show. Because we have a lot of people that love our opinions, love the things that we talk about as far as general conversation. So why not,
Mm.
put that out there for everybody to see?
Right,
Okay,
right.
nice. Now, what you want to ask, Jerry?
Um, so I do want to ask y'all, what y'all season last year? I'll tell y'all this. Uh, y'all got my eye on Tulane from last year. I'll tell y'all that
Yeah, they were
Tulane,
good.
Tulane before last, I think before last year, uh, wasn't really on the map until y'all fellas came and did what y'all did last year. I will say that. So
Appreciate
y'all definitely got a Tulane fan out of me,
Yeah.
and
appreciate it. And well,
it's wild because I'm a USC fan, and y'all hurt me. Y'all hurt me last year.
well, first I want to say my condolences to being a USC fan.
Right?
Thank you.
Tell him again.
Yeah.
Tell him again so he can hear it. Like genuinely seep in that skull, Jared. Like we sorry for you. We feel sorry.
I know that's pretty
Hey,
tough. I know they're not having the ideal season that they were
yeah.
sought to have right now. So I'm sorry for that. But welcome to the bandwagon. You know, we
Yeah.
all on Tulane.
Well,
Hell yeah.
I can't say I'm an Ohio State fan. I grew up in Cleveland.
Okay.
So I mean, we look good. Our defense looks really good. Our defense looks real solid.
Yeah, they
Our
do.
offense, without Marvin Harrison, goes down again in some form or fashion. I'm gonna be very upset again because they should have called him. They should have got oh boy for targeting last year,
Mhm.
but they didn't.
Yeah.
And I want to kind of ask y'all opinion. Would y'all consider that now? Would y'all consider that targeting with the way that the NCAA has moved towards like trying to protect the players more?
I don't know what play you talking about. I haven't watched.
There was a play where CJ Stroud threw a touchdown, tried to throw a touchdown pass in the back of the end zone to Marvin Harrison Jr. against Georgia in the what was that the Sugar Bowl, right? I think it was the Sugar Bowl.
They play.
And and the dude went straight at his head, launched at him in the back of the end zone, knocked him out of the game, and there was no targeting call whatsoever.
Oh, I do remember that. I do remember that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember like exactly what happened, but I do remember
Mhm.
Marvin Harrison getting knocked out of the game.
Mhm.
Everybody was talking about if Marvin Harrison would never got knocked out of the game, they would have won.
We would have won, man. Damn, man. Come on, man. Damn, bro.
So, all right.
Man. Should be
Well,
started on this shit.
Since we brought up a little bit of Georgia, Nick, I read you played ball with Stetson Bennett back in JUCO.
Yeah. I did.
So I want to ask you this: so what did you see playing ball with him in JUCO to where he is now with the two-time national championships? Now in the league, backing up Matt Stafford.
Overall, Stat was always that guy that had that swagger about himself. He always had the confidence that you need as being a college quarterback and now NFL quarterback. He was always calm, a natural born leader. You can tell he had that chip on his shoulder. He walked on to Georgia and then had to go junior college to get that offer again from Georgia. So that's just how he carried himself. He was a captain as well as myself on that team. We made it to the state championship that year. We didn't win it, but Stat played a big role in that, and I'm just happy to have had him as a teammate and had the experience of playing beside him.
Jake, you got something?
I just the main thing I wanted to talk about. Both of y'all went through the draft. Yeah, unfortunately weren't drafted, but y'all both went through the undrafted process and stuff like that. What is that like for a player coming out of college, still trying to make a team without being drafted?
It was definitely a challenge, but after the draft, it was still exciting, to get an opportunity to go to a team and go through the preseason, go through the whole training camp, all that. But at the end of the day, like not getting drafted definitely had to put a chip on my shoulder. And
oh yeah, definitely, I expected to.
But yeah,
Now,
definitely excited to get a chance, the opportunity.
Yeah, I read Larry. I read you went with the Bengals.
Yeah.
What was that like? Going? Did you like ever go up against like Jamar in practice and stuff like that? I read you played safety and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
what was that like playing against like a real football mind a team like that, offensively at least?
When during one-on-ones and stuff, I just really went against like tight ends and stuff. So I never got to go Jamar or T Higgins.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, you like it's a different level. Like everybody's smart, everybody's good. It's a different level of football for sure.
Yeah. And Nick, I read that you went, to the Saints. Going to school in Tulane. You're not far from your hometown. I read that you were born in Vicksburg, Mississippi. And not being far from home, what was that like going to a team where you're still close to home, still close to your family and stuff like that? I feel like that's a blessing in itself.
Most definitely. It helps the transition to the NFL be a whole lot smoother. You don't have to worry about rapidly packing yourself up and having to move someplace across the country. So transition was definitely smooth, and I was in a comfortable setting already. Having been in New Orleans for the past 4 or 5 years. And that definitely helped me get adapted to things quickly while I was with the New Orleans Saints.
Okay, that's nice.
So before y'all ended up signing with the Saints and Bengals, were there any other teams that gave y'all calls before y'all made y'all's deals?
Mhm. I had got calls from really before the draft. I was talking to at least half of the league as far as teams showing interest. But really, it came down to Seattle and New Orleans.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So yeah, the Bengals were the first team to call me, and that was rap. So I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going with the Bengals, and
Yeah,
some
I'd
other
have jumped on that too. That's a contender. You might get a ring out that
yeah,
one.
I
Yes,
was like,
sir.
Bengals, and then I knew a guy that played for the Bengals. He played with us at Tulane, me and Nick at Tulane. So
Nice.
I was like, yeah, this is no brainer. Some other teams called later on. My agent told me, but I didn't pay no more.
Nah,
At that point, I was so excited. I was like, bro, Bengals, bro. It's already locked in.
Yeah,
now,
once you get if you could play with one of your college teammates in the pros, oh
Oh yeah.
oh
that's a
yeah,
wrap.
most definitely. Nick, I read a story yesterday about
I
your
already know.
mom. You know what I'm talking about. Your mom pulled over. Pulled you out of football for getting a B
Yeah,
in school. Is that true? Is that a true story?
that's 100% true, man.
Wow, that's crazy.
Everybody loves to talk about their story, man. And looking back, if I hadn't went through that experience, I probably wouldn't be the man I am today. I probably wouldn't have a degree sitting on my desk right here and one hanging on the wall from Tulane University. And that's just because my mom really instilled the importance of academics in me.
That's
And
dope.
sure that regardless of football, regardless of the cleats and putting on the pads and the X's and O's, I will always have my mind, and that would take me way farther than making tackles would. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
she took me off the field for my spring semester in my ninth grade year, which was very pivotal because we had just lost our head coach. We had a new head coach
Mm.
coming in. So I had to work my way up. I had to work my way up and grind in the summer, having missed the whole spring. And you know how important spring practice is as far as
Mm,
and really making an impact and getting your name out there. But it really
yeah.
just taught me to continue to just, have a grinding mentality of, just working your way up, not really being handed anything, and knowing what it's like to grind your way from the bottom.
I feel that. Larry, we're now are you the son of like the actual Larry Brooks that was drafted, like played by the Rams and all that stuff?
Nah, no,
No, okay. I was wondering. I was like, man, this man generational talent over here.
nah. I am a third though. I am a third.
Okay, okay.
So
All right.
let me ask, so Larry, since you played safety, is there a certain interception that you had that stands out in your head that's your favorite pick?
The ECU pick at the back in the end zone. I don't know if you ever seen it, but it was like a toe
I've
tap.
seen some of your tape, yeah. So I'm not sure which one it was, but I've seen some of your tape.
Yeah, it was like a toe tap back in the end zone, and like the first thing when I caught it, the first thing I did was look at the referee. He said, "Yes, it's good," and I just started running.
Oh,
It was like,
Oh yeah, those toe tap sidelines are always the best.
yeah,
So
man.
Nick, so I know Nick, you had what, like I think I might be wrong, 60 sacks throughout your collegiate year or your senior year. I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure.
66, I wish.
See, okay. I
He
must
did
have.
have
I'm probably
he did have 113 total tackles his senior year. Now that's saying something. Real
okay.
talk.
So I got two questions for you, Nick.
Mhm.
Who was the hardest tackle? I mean, who was the hardest person to tackle, and what was your favorite sack?
Mhm. The hardest person to tackle, honestly, I'm gonna go with Caleb Williams. I gotta
Okay.
go with Caleb Williams. Um,
Okay.
like being able to evade in the pocket. One of his draft highlights this year probably gonna be me missing the sack in the Cotton Bowl. I beat the tackle. They tried to chip me. I beat the chip, hit the tackle with an outside spin move. Thought I had him, didn't go upfield shoulder, and he spent out of
Mm,
rolled out and
Mm.
threw a laser. So he definitely was the toughest to tackle. Um, my favorite sack. Um, I got a sack last year, not this past season, but the year before. I got a sack at UCF down in the bounce house. It was like a big third man coverage. I actually was the rat. I was supposed to be the low hole player, but everything opened up like the Red Sea. I just went for it. Just call my own number, blitz, and got like a 12 to 15-yard sack in the backfield. Blew kisses to the fans. Yeah, that was one of my all-time favorite sacks for sure.
Okay. Larry, I kind of wanted to ask you the same thing, but in like an opposite fashion with Nick. I know you're from Texas, you're from Fort Worth, coming out here, going to Tulane, then going way across the country. I live in Ohio, so I totally understand what it's like to live out there. It's a little boring. It's a little on the Midwestern side, like
Yeah.
so. What was that transition like, going all the way across the country and trying to make this NFL career work?
I mean, it was definitely a challenge. Like Nick, he had to help me pack up all my stuff. So me and Nick was roommates in college. So he had to help me pack up all my stuff. I went home for a little while for like a couple of days, and then I headed out to Ohio. I mean, the transition wasn't bad because there's other people doing the same thing. So we got to start bonding with each other, and we just started connecting, and just we had to break the ice at first, though, for sure. Like everybody's kind of quiet, looking at each other, like who is this guy? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? But once we broke the ice, and we became friends. I still talk to some of those guys still today. So, but yeah,
Nice.
it was a good transition, though.
All right.
Experience.
Nick, I kind of wanted to ask you. I don't really know what this trophy watch is. This was it the Wurfel?
Yeah, the Warford Trophy.
What's that for? Like, what's that for?
So the Warford Trophy was for community service.
Okay.
So
Nice.
it goes to college football's most premier player when it comes to community service and giving back to the community, while also having good grades and being an athlete on the field.
Yeah, I've read that you 4.0 like almost all through high school. And that was one of the things. Why did you, coming out of high school, having like good grades and stuff like that, and why did you end up going to a JUCO first before trying to get into Tulane?
Most definitely. I just was under recruited coming out of Mississippi. A lot of my height played a huge factor in that. A lot of coaches from big time programs such as Ole Miss, Memphis, out of high school, really just never pulled the trigger on me, despite me being first team All State, rated the best linebacker in the county, all district MVP.
All district. Yeah, I was reading. You got a hell of a resume. I don't understand how you went under the radar like that.
Yeah, man, it's tough when you're shorter than the 5 stars and the 4 stars. But I had FCS offers. I had a couple of those. Pretty much every offer in the SWAC. But I just always, growing up in SEC country, you just have that dream of playing big time Division I football. So I just was like, I can go to junior college and play for 6 months, and at the end of the day, still have these FCS offers, but in the other aspect, gain bigger offers and play on that bigger stage. So I just took the gamble on myself. A lot of people was like, man, you're crazy. Like, why not just go to college, to a university?
Yeah.
Why are you going to a junior college? But I just had that confidence in what I could do. I knew that I can go in there and handle business. And I ended up going to Jones and being a freshman All-American. So it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, look at that. Look how God worked, man.
Bro.
I'm telling you. So what we like to do here is, especially after the weeks pass, we go over the games and we talk about the games and we talk about what we saw. One thing I wanted to ask y'all, we'll start with Larry. What was do y'all have a favorite team still to this day? Like, do y'all have like your own fandom inside of y'all still?
I let my favorite team go.
Oh no, not the favorite team go. No.
I'm gonna have to agree with Nick on that one. I have to let my favorite team go.
So who were they?
But I mean, so I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, so the Dallas Cowboys. I mean,
I knew he was gonna say that.
I knew
he was gonna say that.
It's still in me a little bit, but I just, whatever team I'm gonna be with, that's the team. It's gonna be my team.
Yeah.
So
Nick, who was your favorite team?
My favorite team was the Green Bay Packers. When I first started playing football, I played for my little league team was the Vicksburg Packers. So that's naturally the team I watched growing up. And I just fell in love with, Jordy Nelson, Aaron Rodgers, Clay Matthews, AJ Hawk, Greg Jennings, Donald Driver. Donald Driver having played right down the road from me at Alcorn State, I just fell in love with the Packers.
No, I feel that.
So,
That's
so
funny.
how
We used to call when we played football, especially like just like pickup games and stuff like that. We used
street
to
ball,
call
2-hand touch flag.
yeah, we used to call him Jordy Nelson.
Okay.
Yeah, because he had that same kind of route running, that like fast twitch, inside move. That was like his go-to.
Yeah. So
Jordy
oh
Nelson.
man.
Now for real, in my phone, he's in my phone as Jordy Nelson. Like he's not as Jared.
Everybody that we still talk to, that we play ball with, that's what they refer to me as too. They don't call me by my real name. That's what they refer me to.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's just crazy how I can just remember like being a Packers fan at that age and just watching everybody. I was infatuated with the Packers, like Nick Collins at safety, Charles Woodson out there. Like I was Packers crazy. I knew everybody on the roster, both sides of the ball. And
so I want to.
It's crazy because like I was reading y'all's bios and I didn't realize, but y'all are younger than us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that either.
I was like, bro, because I'm 30 and he's 31.
30.
He'll be 30. Yeah, he'll be 31 in December. So I was like, man, this man's like 23, 24 years old. What the hell? Appreciate it, Quinn. Appreciate it. But yeah, so I was gonna pick some games. If that's the case, then the first game we could talk about is this Broncos-Packers game, 19-17. Broncos end up on top. Jordan Love has been real like up and down. Like he started out pretty well, and especially the first 3 games. These last 3 games haven't really been the same. You figure AJ Dillon was their leading receiver with 34 yards.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a problem. Their offense needs to get in gear because I know that their defense is still really good. Jaire Alexander, I've talked about it since the beginning of the year, top 3 corner in the league easily.
Jaire single-handedly helped us win a fantasy game.
Yes, he did. He showed him and Rasul was it Douglas? Rasul Douglas?
Yeah, we were playing against Devontae Adams, and we won by 2.5 points because they shut him down.
Mm-hmm. He only had like 5 catches.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, it was a good game. Russell Wilson had a decent game, 20-29, 194 touchdown. Cortland Sutton, who I have on a couple of my fantasies, 6 catches, 76 yards on a touchdown. What do y'all think that the Packers need? Because we talked about the Broncos. We don't think the Broncos are going to be really anything, especially in the division they're in. But what do the Packers need to do to try to get Jordan Love maybe going a little bit more help? I know David Bakhtiari's down, but he's been down for years now. So what do y'all think is the step in the right direction for the Packers right now?
I feel like they have a good receiving core that's kind of under the radar right now, but knowing a couple guys that's in that receiver room, such as Malik Heath being an undrafted guy that made the 53 from Ole Miss. Also the guy that played in Nevada.
Romeo Doubs.
Oh, Romeo Doubs, yeah, he's nice.
I'm a fan of Romeo Doubs.
Yeah, he's nice.
He's pretty talented. They drafted a tight end that's pretty talented. So they have all the pieces. I just feel like, this is Jordan Love's first year actually playing and getting significant amount of reps. So there's going to be some waves. There's going to be some ups and downs. It's going to be a roller coaster, because he's got to get used to being a starting quarterback in the NFL. So I feel like over the course of the season, he'll pick it up and he'll get better.
Okay.
So me personally, I played against the Packers in the joint practice in preseason.
Nice.
Just watching them, it just, like Nick's saying, it's going to really just take time. Like they're very, very young, but they're talented at the same time. So it's just going to take time for Jordan Love to really just pick up on the system. And, I feel like the system makes the quarterback. It could be you can have an average quarterback and have a great sense of and just fireworks. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to take time for him just to pick up on the system, and who knows what's going to happen.
Well, see, that was going to be my next question. How long do you think that Matt LaFleur is going to have with him if they keep having bad seasons? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true too. I mean, NFL, you got to win games right now. So
yeah,
sure.
Yeah. That's me and Jared. We've harped on it a long time. Especially like everybody right now is calling Bryce Young a bust. And I'm like, bro, he's 6 games into his career. He was hurt for 2 of them. gonna call this kid a bust? His best receiver over there is an old Adam Thielen, who's not bad, but at the same time, he's above that veteran age where he's kind of more mentoring guys now than anything else.
Right.
So that they need more pass catchers. They need a better offensive line. I think their defense is fast, but I never liked calling somebody a bust in their first 1 or 2 seasons. Because I think because y'all can attest to this. I've never played in the NFL, but I can tell the speed of the game from college to the NFL is completely off the charts different. So like,
I mean, when that ball snap, people get to moving and people get to moving. Like, I think college is faster, like a faster tempo.
Mm-hmm.
People run like hurry up offense, like they don't huddle. But once that ball snap, I think it's a different tempo.
I feel like the up front is a very big difference unless you played in the SEC. Up front is a very big difference, but like Larry said, in the NFL, you don't have to worry about whether the formation is unbalanced. You don't have to worry about tackle over unless you're in short yardage situations. You don't have to worry about certain stuff that in college, like the tempo. You got UCF, who I think was getting up to maybe between 60 and 80 plays a game of offense.
Yeah, see, that's crazy. That's like some Chip Kelly shit.
You don't have to worry about that in the NFL, but you definitely have your guys in the NFL that are freak athletes and freak of nature. But overall, I don't feel like the playing speed and the level of talent is too far off when it comes to college and the NFL.
Okay. That's actually interesting. I've always like thought like the talent, because I watch the difference between them, and I'm watching the games and you just see like especially in the NFL, the sharpness and the technicality of things is just so much more. What's the word I'm looking for? It's a different level. It's just off the grid to me watching college. That's not the down college players at all. Like, I mean, obviously the guys from the NFL come from college. But yeah, but like I said, that after that second to third year, especially if you can ingrain yourself into a system, just like Larry was saying, if you can ingrain yourself into a system, 2 years after that second year, I need to see a jump.
Yeah,
and that's really the hardest thing too.
Yeah,
I think like after the 2 years, like I think like things will really start slow down.
Yes,
mm-hmm.
It'll be like, oh, he's going that way. I'm picking this dude apart. I'm throwing the ball here.
Yeah, the IQ level is just different,
Easy, like bro.
Really, just wanting to shout out a guy right now, Nifa Sewell, the backup linebacker for the Saints right now, number 45. He hasn't played yet, obviously, because DeMario and Pete been doing that thing. But to see the things that he did in training camp, like I was asking him at the practice, like, bro, like, was you an undrafted free agent last year? He was like, yeah, bro, like, it just makes sense now. He was like, I've been here a year. Things just, I know what's happening. I know what's going on. And that's one of the things that I can attest. When you're given the opportunity and you're able to stay in the system for at least a season, because you got to think the NFL season is almost half a year. So practice against those guys and really be in that system for that long, it definitely helps your play the following year. Like, it's easy to pick up on because you're seeing, all different types of stuff. And also, if you're not a guy that's starting, you're a guy that's, giving looks from other teams, you're also getting to run different defenses week in and week out that other teams in the league are running. So your capacity of football awareness and football IQ just grows drastically in just one season.
I feel that. I definitely feel that. Well, that's actually a good jump into the next game I want to talk about is that Thursday night game against the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New Orleans Saints. Jacksonville wins 31-24. Trevor Lawrence, 20 of 29, 204 and a touchdown. Christian Kirk ate him up, 6 receptions for 90 yards and a touchdown. They played well against the run. ETN 14 carries for 53 yards. He did have 2 touchdowns, but that's a 3.8 yard carry. That's decent. Then Trevor Lawrence was their leading running back with 59. On the flip side, you had Derek Carr, 33 of 55. 55 with Alvin Kamara in the backfield. I don't understand why they're dropping him back so much.
The reason I laughed so hard because me and Larry watched the game and we went home after the game, caught an Uber and the Uber driver was he was livid,
Hot.
Yeah.
livid, and so that was a funny sight, because he was so mad. I didn't even when I told him my name, I didn't even tell him my real name because I didn't want him being mad at me.
Oh, so you the motherfucker that was on the team too, huh?
So, yeah, it's definitely some things that has to be fixed out there offensively, and everybody knows it. Everybody's aware of it. But it's just one of those things. Derek Carr is new to the system. You know,
Yeah, we just talking about that. Yeah,
he hasn't been in the system for a minute. So I think that he's a very talented quarterback. Having been his teammate through training camp and preseason, I know he's a talented quarterback. I know he has enough leadership and enough experience to get things turned around. He has the weapons, around him to do it. But it's just going to come with a little time. It's going to come with a little time. And, just watching the NFL and being a fan and, you want to see things happen right now. Like,
yeah.
next week you need to throw for 300 yards. And, in reality, it doesn't really work like that. Like, it takes time and it takes a lot of guys clicking and being on the same page for offense to really flourish in the NFL, because you're playing against quality defenses week in, week out. You're playing against all pro guys week in, week out, people that are on the top of their game. So if you haven't really been polished with the system that you're in, it's going to take time to build that up. And so I definitely think the Saints are going to turn around, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, that's actually a good question I wanted to bring up. When there's lack of execution, do you think it has more to do with the lack of preparation somebody puts in, or the strategy and game plan of how the defense combats what you're bringing to the table?
That's actually a great question. I feel like it's a little bit of both, because you can easily sit there and say, okay, our offense got handed to them, they didn't do their best, and really discredit how good the defense really is.
Yeah.
And in the same sense, you could say, oh, the defense didn't prepare well, they didn't do this, and really discredit how good the offense is. So I feel like it's something that goes hand in hand, week in, week out. Some teams have a great game plan, a great scheme, and their players make plays. But I just feel like that works on both sides of the ball. It depends on which spectrum you want to look at.
Well, I mean, y'all are both defensive guys, so I'm thinking, you're gonna say, man, it's the defense putting in that work over there, man. What you mean?
I mean, like, I'm just a realistic person. I want to be a coach.
I like that.
So, I gotta look at things from both ends of the spectrum, not just defensively. So I definitely feel like it plays both hand in hand.
Gotcha. I'll tell you a crazy stat from this Saints game. Alvin Kamara, 12 catches for 91 yards.
Man.
Yo, 12 catches is insane out the backfield.
12 catches is insane.
I mean, another thing that we just heard about, I don't know if you talked to him, if you still talk to him or anything like that, but we heard about what happened with Chris Olave. And we're hoping that, he gets his mind right, especially a guy coming out of Ohio State. I loved watching him play. I love the fact that he's on the Saints. I just, I hate to see his career get ruined by something so slight, like,
Right.
And I really hope he gets his mind together and buckle down into football, man. Family, football, career.
And it's really just one of those things that you just learn from.
Yeah.
Thankfully, nobody was injured. Thankfully, that the situation wasn't, as bad as it could have been.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's just a learning situation. Everybody that drives a vehicle has definitely sped before. And
Oh yeah, most definitely. I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm holy.
Especially like in a 30 mile per hour zone. People have done it. I've done it and going. Speed limit that I shouldn't have been going in that. So it's not one of those things where you just point the finger and you crucify him for a mistake, because
definitely
everybody has done it. But it's definitely something to learn from. Being arrested definitely is an attention grabber.
Yeah, trust me, it is.
I just know that he's gonna bounce back from it because that's the type of person he is. He's not a bad guy. He's not somebody
No.
who stays in trouble or a felon or a criminal or anything like that. He just made a mistake. And
Yeah,
just
exactly.
looking forward to him bouncing back from that for sure.
Now, Larry, did you ever see like a teammate go through that in college or anything like that when y'all were in Tulane? Was there somebody down there that just, yeah, he was talented, could do his thing, but just kind of wasn't like the best decision maker? Let's go with that.
Nothing like crazy. Maybe like just not going to class, getting in trouble. But like getting in trouble. Like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, we had a thing at Tulane called the list. We had some guys that be on the list, like not going to class, not showing up to their, tutoring
Designated
appointments,
areas,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, just do your stuff. Just, come on, man. Like, just come on. Like, I don't know.
Like, let's get it together. Like
just show up,
like,
dude. I mean, that's half of it, dude. Honestly.
Yeah. Now is there, what is it? That, now I know college roster is slightly bigger than NFL. Is it 60 guys that they get to dress out?
When
the home game,
everyone dresses out.
Okay.
Away games, I guess it depends on how big the team is.
Yeah. Away games, I think we brought at least 60 to 70 guys.
60, 70, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was watching Rudy the other night, and the coach is harping on it. Oh, Rudy they're really strict about this 60-man rule thing. So I still didn't know if that had changed or anything like that, and about how the dress is and like how that works out there.
I feel like Coach Frisch try to bring as many people as he can because he's the type of guy. He likes the juice on the sideline. He likes the guys to have that juice on the sideline and get the team together, get the crowd hyped and stuff like that. So
I got you.
The energy.
All right, well, let's move it on to another game. This was a game that really not so much surprised me, but I didn't think it would be like this. Baltimore ended up smashing Detroit 38-6. Lamar Jackson went absolutely stupid. 21 to 27, 357, 3 touchdowns. Gus Edwards chipped in with 64 on the ground and a touchdown. And I'll tell you what, watching Zay Flowers becoming his own receiver is truly a gift to watch. I love Boston College guys. I really do.
I tried telling you. We should have been trying to get him.
Yeah. I wasn't high on Zay Flowers as other people were, but man, watching him ball out is a treat. It really is. Because he's one of those players, and I know y'all seen guys like this, they get into the open field and they just make magic work. And I feel like he's really one of those players that if you get him in the open field, that's dangerous.
We saw with Tajay in the Cotton Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Tajay was killing him.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Tajay was tearing him up.
Most definitely. One thing I do like about the Ravens is their backers, Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith.
Oh man,
I love the way those
insane
guys
combo.
It's like it's a beauty to watch. You saw the video of Roquan Smith breaking down film with Ray Lewis, and I watched that video a couple times, man, to just see the elite linebacker play that both of those guys have on that side of the ball. Baltimore definitely has something special with those guys in the room.
No, yeah, Baltimore, they just got that culture. Like, they're always going to have good defense. Defense. It's just a culture thing, I feel like, that they have there.
Yeah, that moved them to 5-2. They lead their division. Now, Detroit, on the flip side, they still lead their division at 5-2. I harped all offseason about there's no way Minnesota wins 12 or 11 one-possession games this year. Those swing too much to really think that that's going to happen. Like that, to me, that's lightning striking. You win 11 one-possession games in a season, that's lightning striking to me.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be like that. We talked about Green Bay. That division, I don't think it's so much shaky, but what do the Lions need to do to rebound? Like, what do y'all do coming off of a hefty loss to a team that you thought you could compete with? What's the mindset in the locker room? How do you get that morale back?
I just feel like Don Campbell is an amazing coach. He's one of those coaches that really can bring the best out of his players. And I feel like, they just had a slip up. It's the NFL. You can lose any Sunday. And they just, suffered a loss. But they went out against Kansas City and beat them, and they were on a high trajectory on playing the whole season. So I'm pretty sure they bounce back this week.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move it on then to another game. We'll talk about this game because I get to bring it up. The Giants win 14-7 against the Commanders. Obviously not a very, what's the word I'm looking for here? Offensively prolific game. You know what I mean? It wasn't, a shootout or anything. The Giants ended up having, 6 sacks against them. We also gave up 4 sacks of our own to them. Penalties were a big problem with Washington. Now, I've been a Giants fan my whole life. And now, Nick, did you play like edge rusher, or were you like an actual like 4-3, like a 4-3 backer? Like what was your like main spiel?
I did both throughout my entire football career. In high school, I lined up on the edge and played Mike linebacker. At Jones, I played just Mike linebacker. I didn't really work off the edge. At Tulane last year, I was a Sam linebacker and a Mike linebacker, so I have experience doing both.
Okay. So I brought that up to bring this up. Now, I'm sure y'all seen everything that they talked about with how bad the offensive line is for the Giants. Now, when y'all go against certain teams, is that talked about, in like meetings in the locker room about like, oh, well, this guy here, he's really not that all that. Like, you should be able to do this to him and that to him. Is that talked about? Like, is that a thing that gets brought up in meetings per se, really, in film?
Most definitely. Like last year, we used to have pass rush meetings, and we used to highlight each defensive lineman. When the week started, the defensive line coach last year, he used to assign everybody a defensive lineman to go watch, take notes on, talk about strengths, weaknesses, what rushes do they think will work against him, what counter moves, and we'll have a presentation the Thursday before the game on Saturday, and we'll just break that guy down, have a whole highlight tape on, the sacks he's giving up, the QB hits he's giving up. So it's definitely one of the things that defenses do take awareness of really breaking down and saying, okay, this is their weakest link. If we can get him one-on-one, this is how we can win.
Okay. Same thing for you, Larry. Did they talk about like quarterbacks in there and everything about like, well, this guy, he likes to, this kind of side and this kind of throw, stuff like that?
No, yeah. They kind of come back to scheme, like where they want to attack, the field. But the first thing is he a runner or is he a pocket guy? I mean,
gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, is there like a huge? I want to say this there. There's probably, I know that there's a different scheme in how you run it, but what's the biggest difference between dealing with a guy who can get outside of the pocket and make plays with his legs and a guy who's more, a pocket passer? What's the biggest difference?
I feel like a guy that can go out and run and make plays with his legs, I'd rather play a little bit more zone so we can all have eyes on him. So when he does take off, we can go tackle him. But I mean, a guy that's a pocket guy, that somebody that maybe he'll run, but he's not going to beat us with his legs. Play more man, and so we have our man and eyes on our man and really just lock him up.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be my thing.
But yeah, so Tyrod Taylor coming in, playing for Daniel Jones, 18-29, 279, and 2 touchdowns. Barkley threw in 77 yards on the ground. He also added a touchdown through the air. It's nice to see Darren Waller gets his first touchdown as a Giant as well. He had a big game, 7 catches, 98 yards. Have y'all gone up, especially Larry, have you gone up against a guy that's like a Darren Waller, 6'8", 6'7", freakish athlete, can get the ball over you, can beat you on a route? Is that something that you see often? Like, I just don't. That's one-on-one.
Yeah, that's one-on-one, honestly. That's one-on-one.
Yeah, because I don't. I mean, we talk, especially Jared. Jared loves his tight ends. He was big on Laporta coming out. We talked about what was his that Myers kid from Notre Dame. Yeah. We talked about him. We talked about Kincaid a lot. So it was. I always look to see, okay, who's that next guy that 6'8", 6'7", big body, can block but still get out and really beat you on a route or downfield. We're big on the tight ends, especially in our fantasy. Our dynasty is a 1.7 per reception for tight ends.
No, yeah, I mean, tight ends are mismatches for sure.
Yeah,
they give you problems.
Who's the toughest tight end you had to deal with in your career?
say in college, I would probably say Wiley from Cincinnati. He's more of a receiver guy though, for sure. But
Gotcha.
he's long, rangy. He throw the ball anywhere around him. He can bring it in. He's real long. His catch radius is big for sure.
On the flip side, Commanders they fall to 3-4, and they're sliding after starting pretty well. They lose to the Bears, then they fall to the Giants. That makes them 3-4 now. We're technically only one game out, really 1.5 games out of a playoff spot right now. What have y'all watched the Commanders play at all? I like Sam Howell. I just don't think that dropping him back 42 times in a game is the key to victory for them right now.
Larry played against Commanders in the preseason.
Okay.
Yeah, I played against them. Obviously, Sam Howell didn't play.
Yeah. Well, I know Eric Bieniemy was still calling the plays. Though. What's that Eric Bieniemy offense like going against?
You gotta stop the run against those guys. If you stop the run, then I feel like you can cause them to have problems. Like dropping back 42 times is not going to help.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, you gotta stop the run. If you don't stop the run, then they're gonna run, and then they're gonna start passing the ball whenever they want. You're just gonna be guessing as a defense. So I feel like
they only had 19 carries that entire game.
Yeah.
2 for Antonio Gibson, 8 for Brian Robinson. This Chris Rodriguez dude came out of nowhere. He got 7 carries. They have to get some kind of run game going. They don't have like anything going on in their run game at this point. I think a lot of it has to do with the play calling more than anything else. What were you about to say though, Jared?
So since both of y'all play on the defensive side, when you see a quarterback drop back like 40 plus times, what are y'all thinking? How are y'all feeling? Is it like, okay, let's pin our ears back and go get him, or how do y'all feel?
Rush, sacks,
picks,
rush.
They come hand to hand. I mean, getting pressure on the quarterbacks helps us. Bad ball, tip balls helps us get picks. Honestly, timing's off.
Last year, being one of those guys that was on the speed package, which was basically the third down package, and one of those premier rushers on the team, I love quarterbacks that throw the ball because that means I can rush and really flash on film and show what I can do as far as the pass rush game. So if I'm able to rush the quarterback 42 times, there's 42 opportunities to get sacked. So
now, Nick, what was your favorite pass rush move?
Spin move.
Spin move. Okay.
I could do the counter spin inside. I can do the counter spin outside. And my the ghost rush is definitely big for me because all the offensive linemen I'm playing against are taller than me. So that was one of the things. I remember playing USC, and I forced a holding call in like the second quarter. The offensive tackle. That's the one time I was close to sacking Caleb. Other than in the first quarter, I had a big hit on him on a flea flicker that he still put on a rope. It wasn't completed, but he still put on a rope. I smashed him. So, but the offensive tackle told me like midway through the game, he was like, "Man, you rushing your ass off." So that's really good to hear, man. Especially last year being my first year really doing it. But my favorite moves was just using my speed, using my God-given abilities to be low to the ground and get up under guys, and also using my strength, going speed to power when I needed to.
I gotcha. Now, flip side, Larry, I played safety in high school. I prefer like a more zone look. I like to sit back and watch the quarterback kind of, watch what's going on around me while watching his eyes at the same time. Do you prefer zone or do you prefer like a man where you can, get up on a guy and really press him and follow him across the field? What's more your play style?
I mean, I've done both.
Mm-hmm.
With both of my DCs that we had at Tulane. Our first DC, we played a lot of men. That's all we played. And then this past year, we played a lot of zone. But obviously, zone, you get more picks, but I feel like man is a lot more fun because you get to lock somebody up, lock a guy up, and talk a little trash to him a little bit too.
Yeah. They miss like you get that seatbelt and all types of stuff.
or just
Did y'all have a go-to celebration when y'all made a play?
I did a couple of celebrations. Man, go to. I'm gonna let Larry answer that one first.
I don't really gotta go to. I mean, it's just kind of how I feel, just in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just whatever my emotions take me, just let it out.
My go to always is just yelling. I'm gonna be yelling when I make a play. Everybody know I made the play. That's just that's the type of football that I play. So I say my go to celebration was just talking trash and making sure that everybody knew that Nick Anderson was the one that did it.
Now,
Yeah,
one
I always love watching guys come out of like scrums on like a 2 yard run and the defense stops it, and then just one guy comes running down, just like ah, and you're like, dude, I didn't even see you make the play. Like, what are you doing?
But yeah, one game we played against Kansas State, and
Oh yeah,
the whole team was masking up like this.
No.
The whole team.
you know
Oh,
that was Deuce Vaughn's signature move. When he scored a touchdown,
yeah,
he would
you're right.
walk up, and so we watched him literally for 3 weeks straight. We watching film, and our defense coordinator was like, "We're not letting him do this. We're not letting him do this. We're not gonna do that." And so, like the first drive, we went out there and stoned them. The whole defense was masking up, and
Matt,
it was exciting.
woo.
It was exciting.
Yeah, 'cause you wonder what's going through the player's head, especially if you're getting locked up and then the defense is doing your own celebration on you. Like, how do you respond to that? Like, you can't just be like, man, shut up, because you're gonna sound like a second grader.
You gotta make a play. You gotta try to make a play.
Yeah,
All right.
we seen that happen with when people mocked Aaron Rodgers' celebration.
Oh,
Every
the
time they
belt
do that,
animation. Yep.
yep.
All right. Well, we'll talk about this game because I thought this was probably the biggest episode of the weekend. I know Jared was happy about it. New England upset the Bills 29-25. I thought that was huge for Mac Jones having
Yep.
a really solid game. 25 of 30, 272, 2 touchdowns, real solid out of him. No picks. I think that's the biggest thing from him is no picks.
Yeah.
They didn't really run the ball efficiently. I won't say it was efficient, but they ran it decently. They still had over 100 yards. Well, they had close to 100 yards with 96. 364 total. Penalties on both sides. 9 for the Bills, 8 for the Patriots. It was a sloppy game. Turnovers on both sides. Y'all did have a fumble. Who fumbled the ball, Jared? That gave it.
Who for us?
Yeah, when y'all fumbled it.
Kendrick Bourne fumbled it.
Oh, he did. Well, he did throw in a touchdown for y'all. 6 catches, 63 yards, and a touchdown for him. We just talked about Dalton Kincaid, 8 receptions, 75 yards. With I think Dawson Knox was out, wasn't he?
He actually got hurt, and it was his wrist, so he's actually getting surgery. So now Kincaid is gonna be the number one tight end.
Number one guy there. Okay. And we harped on this a lot last year, and I wanted to get y'all's perspective on if y'all watch the Bills play, especially Josh Allen. Me and Jared both feel like if he is not involved on at least 75% of the offense, they're not going to win. So they still, I know they kept James Cook and yeah, he's not terrible. He's really not. But do you think that they need an elite running back over there to give Josh Allen some breathing room, really? Because I mean, they just can't run the ball without Josh Allen.
Yeah, I definitely feel like a good running back definitely takes the pressure off the quarterback. And they do have James Cook, and he is a threat, but he's young. He has to really settle himself as one of the top threats in that division. So when you're game planning against the Bills, and you can say, okay, we're gonna completely just handle Josh Allen and really take him out the picture, those are the type of things that happens.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he had a terrible game. I mean, 27 of 41, 265, 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick. They also had a fumble. Excuse me. But now they're 4-3. They're sliding back in this division. It's only thankful that the Eagles beat the Dolphins, and now that they're still only 1 game out of first place in that division. But what is with the roller coaster? Is that a thing y'all see a lot, especially in football and in the NFL? Is the roller coaster of the way somebody plays? Like one game you'll see them and they'll just be top of the line, like who is this kid? I've never seen this guy before, and then you just like, oh, okay, that's the guy. That's who I know.
Most definitely. I just feel like that goes into also the business aspect of the NFL that not a lot of people know about. You know, when you have a team that can't really develop a true chemistry because you have guys that got to be traded, or you got to make room for this, or you got to make room for that, to where during the season is guys coming in and out of the building. You can't really have chemistry like that, and that's why you don't see a lot of teams consistently winning Super Bowls, consistently, being at the top. Even you look at teams like the Washington, for instance. They're about to have to make something shake with their D line because they might not be able to afford everybody that's there, and so that's one
Right.
of the things where you see the financial side of things really affect how efficient longevity of a team being good in the NFL.
I gotcha. Larry, same question to you. Have you noticed, like, with the way that people play, like, is the roller coaster, and like, is that something that comes off of preparation, or is that just sometimes you go against somebody that just like stops you?
I was gonna say preparation. I mean, that always. But I mean, again, it's the NFL. Like anybody can win any Sunday. I mean, everybody's good. I mean, everybody's record might not be as good, but everybody's good. Anybody can go out there and put a good game plan together and go out there and execute and have a good game.
For sure.
But I've never thought about how Nick really said with the different guys coming in the building and trying to build a chemistry and stuff like that with the guys in the building. I feel like that definitely has a impact on it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's move it on. We got one more game we'll talk about, and then we'll get into some other things I wanted to discuss with y'all. I think probably another. I guess you could say this is it's probably a big upset. Y'all watched the Monday night game with the Vikings and the 49ers. Vikings won 22-17. Kirk Cousins, 35 of 45, 378, 2 touchdowns and a pick against that offense. I mean, against that defense.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Did you see the monkey Kirk Cousins got off his back last night?
Oh, the prime time? Oh yeah.
Yep.
Hey, they said the man couldn't win in prime time.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Kirk Cousins, I feel like he's one of those quarterbacks that is overlooked a lot due to, him not winning games at times. But I feel like that's just one of the realities of being a quarterback. Win or lose, they're going to blame you or put it on you. But I definitely feel like he's a talented quarterback. He's been played in championship games. He's won playoff games. He's won divisions before. And so you just got to see the reality. You like that. You like that. A lot of people forget, man. Kirk Cousins, he's a beast.
He's like that.
No, yeah. I think a lot of people forget because like his play style, how he's not like really just flashy and do all the things like the falling down side passes like Pat Mahomes or no look passes and stuff like that. But yeah, I was one of those people that was like, Kirk Cousins, he's just a guy. But after watching the quarterback series, I don't know if y'all seen it on Netflix.
Yeah, on Netflix, yeah.
I watched a little bit.
Once like he's getting beat up back there. He's getting hit a lot, and he's still like coming out and playing hard and
doing his thing.
winning games for real. Yeah, so
yeah, I'll be honest. I watched a little bit of it, but once Brittany Mahomes started coming on and started talking, I'm like, I don't want to hear this anymore.
This guy, bro.
So, hey, look, bro, I find her voice very aggravating. That is like 100%, dude.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't fans of the Mahomes. A lot of people don't like his wife, and I think a lot of people don't like his brother.
I don't have a problem with his wife. He's just a loudmouth white girl. But his brother, yo, that dude's crazy. He messed up in the head for real. Like he's vicariously living through his brother. He's trying to. He really is. But the good thing is that after this whole situation of him, like with the whole sexual assault in the club thing and all that stuff, he seemed to take a step back, and he's calmed down.
No more.
Exactly. You ain't hear nothing about him. So no news is good news for him, at least. But on the flip side of this game, You know, Brock Purdy, he goes 21 to 30. No Debo Samuel. Christian McCaffrey wasn't 100%. Even if he
Trent
was,
Williams was out.
yeah, Trent Williams out. Do y'all feel like, because I've been seeing this a lot, especially with, in sports debate shows, do y'all feel like he's getting exposed?
I mean, like with all your weapons out and you're starting left tackle, I mean, like how good can you really play?
Yeah.
You can't run and catch the ball yourself and line up in the backfield and tote the ball and also block the edge rusher. Like he's a quarterback. He needs guys around him that he can get the ball to make him look good. So that's one of the things that I really had to learn. A lot of times, you'd be like, okay, the quarterback needs to prove how good he is because now this receiver is going. I feel like that's the reality of the quarterback position. You got to have weapons around you. If you don't have them, then how good are you going to be? We talk about Pat Mahomes and how good he was. He had Travis Kelce. He had Marquez Valdez-Scantling. He had Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill for a while, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like, of course he's gonna be good. Look at what's around him. Like, so I feel like any quarterback that's a starter in the NFL is talented, but another thing that makes him elite is the people that are put around him.
I agree 100% for sure. 100%.
Oh, what's up, Cozy? What's up, Cozy? Nice to see you pop in, man. Yeah, because I now have y'all when y'all were in preseason or anything like that, did y'all go up against a quarterback that really people haven't talked about at all? That really surprised you in how well he played?
I got to practice against Justin Herbert.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
He's pretty legit. And what's his name? It's really disrespectful that his name is not coming to me right now. On the receiver, Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen.
Okay. My God, like he had a crazy one-hand catch during the joint practices where we were out in California, and just got up, tossed the ball in the stands, and jogged back to the huddle. Yeah, I'm talking about like lock coverage. I want to say he was on Alante Taylor, who has been playing good, and he just dove out and palmed the ball with a one-hand catch and just tossed to the sideline. It wasn't nothing. So it's definitely surreal to see those guys in person doing that thing.
Yeah, Keenan's one of our dynasty players too, so we're loving whatever he's doing right now.
Yeah. What about you? What about you, Larry?
Someone that was kind of surprised. I would say, I told Nick, he was like, Desmond Ridder. We played against him in college. That's another thing. I feel like the system for him is going to be is he going to be a good quarterback or he's not? You know what I'm saying? The system, just are they going to let him use his legs? Boot, play action, boot. Are they going to have a good run game? Stuff like that. But from what I seen that game, I thought they good. And them getting Bijan Robinson was a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Really run the ball. He can throw the ball to him out the backfield. And Bijan can have a big play just off a little shakedown, as we've seen. But I feel like it's going to help
multiple times.
Yeah.
Just how Nick was saying, just getting weapons. Atlanta, they starting to kind of get some weapons with Kyle Pitts and some guys on the outside. They're building in this. We'll see if it come together. The timing. See if they can keep everybody.
Drake London.
Yep, Drake London.
Drake London. I saw him make a catch and try to reach for the end zone last week, and this man got flipped completely over, landing on the top of his crown of his helmet, trying to reach for the goal line. I was like, yo, this man putting his body on the line. Yeah. Speaking of another USC wide receiver, Jordan Addison, 7 catches, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That snag that he took straight out of Tre'Davious Ward's hands was insane.
Like a Madden glitch.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I seen so he snagged it out of Ward's hand, and then Ward came back and did it to him later in the game or something like that.
It was actually vice versa. Ward did it first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ward did it first, and then he
Okay.
did it to him.
Okay. No, yeah, that was crazy. I was like, yeah, they out there battling. They out there.
Yeah.
They playing man. That's what I was talking about. They playing a man coverage, talking trash, going at it all game. That's what it looked like it was going on out there.
Yeah, I gotta hand credit to Minnesota. Now I had originally said that I liked Minnesota with the 7. I didn't think they would win this game though. But with the 49ers now, they lose 2 in a row. And I don't know, because like I don't want to see Philly win. I just sorry, Cozy, if you're in here, bro. I don't want to see Philly win. So do you think that, with the healthy 49ers team, do you think that they could be the top team in the NFC and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
sure.
I definitely feel like they were 1 game away last year.
Mm.
And Brock Purdy.
Purdy was hurt that game. He got hurt with his elbow that game. So
who's to say Purdy doesn't get knocked out if Philadelphia don't win that game?
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of their defense. I think their defense is top tier, even with, Kirk. I think Kirk Cousins just had a field day on him. At home, everybody was counting them out because of no Justin Jefferson, and he was like, "I'm still gonna go sling it. Forget that." So I got to give big because mentally, knowing that your top guy is out, going against literally a top 3 defense in the league, it's got to be going through your head about, okay, where am I going to get the ball? Who's going to be my guy? Who's going to be my go-to, my safety blanket? Now, the only thing is can they get this running game going a little bit more? Madison 8 carries, 39 yards. It's not bad. It's almost 5 yards a carry. But they gave Cam Akers 10 carries for 31 yards. I don't know why they kept feeding him the ball.
Cam was up there.
Yeah. He just got traded up there. I drafted him in like 2 leagues, and I was so pissed whenever I realized he was getting traded. Because I'm like, bro, like he didn't really play much last season. I'm like, okay, he's gonna come back. He's gonna be the guy and be the number 1 in Los Angeles with the Rams. But I guess he still had issues with the team. I don't know what was going on. I can't speak on it. But now he's with another passing team. He's not even with another running team.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you gonna do? I ended up dropping him, unfortunately. But now when you go up against teams like that, and we talked about how like you break down film and everything like that, and you're looking for weaknesses and strengths. Like, is it hard? Like, how hard is it to find a weakness in an offense that is just so prolific and can just put up points? What's the main factor in when you go into a game like that, and trying to slow them down, really?
Execution defensively. If you look at an offense and they don't really have any loopholes, then you just know that you got to be on top of your stuff schematically, defensively.
Yeah, I would say like you can't really help them like by like doing silly things like penalties and jumping off sides, stuff like that. Like you can't give them no free yards. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make them earn every yard. So that's all I was saying.
Larry, and this is one of the questions I wanted to ask you towards the end of the show here. How hard is it playing defensive back in the NFL? It's got to be the most difficult job in the world, bro. It really, like, with the way that the rules are to set up for offense, and you can't like really lay those big hits that I grew up watching. You can't really tug on them. You even when you're jockeying with them back and forth, they still call you the defense with the penalty. How hard is it really to play defensive back in this league?
No, yeah, I would say from the transition from college to NFL, that's like covering guys. That's the hardest transition because in college you can catch them or bang them at like 7, 8 yards, and as long as the ball's not in the air, you're good. In the NFL, after the 5 yards, you can't really put your hands on them or tug on them, or you can't really even touch them at all, honestly.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, and you're reacting off him. So it's kind of like you're always going to be like a step off or a second off. And that's when it comes in for the D lineman. That's why they get paid so much. Those guys come off the edge. They help us a lot. I feel like so the defense it works hand in hand. The defensive line helps the DBs. The DBs help the D line.
Mhm.
That's just the way how defense works.
Yeah.
Now, did you play corner at all growing up, or did you automatically go to safety? Like, how did that work when you were doing your
So
DB
I played
stuff?
I played corner in high school. Moved to safety. I played a little safety in high school, but mostly corner.
Okay,
And then in college, I got to college. I played a little corner, and then I got moved to safety, and then been playing safety ever since.
okay.
So
What was like the biggest thing for you when you transitioned to safety? Like going from cornerback to safety. I never played corner, so I can't really speak on how the transition going from corner to safety is. But I played safety, so I,
yeah.
I understand a little bit of how that works. What's the biggest difference between the two?
It's, I mean, it's definitely you view the field different.
Mm,
And then I would say communication. Communication. Uh, you got to talk a lot more at safety. You got to communicate with everyone. At corner, it's kind of like you kind of listening for somebody to communicate with you and be like, all right, what we got, and then you just playing what you got. So safety is a lot more communication, and it's a different view of the field. You get a different point of view.
yeah, that was my favorite thing. Was the view of the field. I love being able to see everything developing in front of me
Yeah,
because then I can react off of how it's developing.
yeah,
uh, Especially if in high school they tend to run the ball more. Nowadays, it is starting to become more passing. Um, with the evolution of the game is trickling down all the way to high school. But when I was playing still, this was what was that like 09, 2010, 2011, back
While
in
ago.
yeah, a while ago. Uh, it was still more of a running game. So being able to see the blocking develop and all, where you want to hit to, where you want to get to your spots so you can break down the running back. Uh, but yeah, that was always my thing with safety is being able to see the field. I always loved that. I always loved being able to do that.
no, yeah, it was the transition. Like when I first got moved to safety, it was a lot different. And you definitely had to take time to adjust to it. Sure. So,
Oh, for sure. Um, so just a couple more things I wanted to talk about. Now, Nick, you grew up in Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
You went to high school out there too, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What is it like trying to get your tape and trying to get eyeballs on a player in these like smaller towns, where a lot of recruiters aren't really looking?
It's tough. It's tough. I actually did a video on TikTok today about getting recruited in Mississippi. And gonna do a little series on there. Because I know it's hard. Being from somewhere that's very rural. And not a lot of traffic goes through there, and really just trying to get seen by different colleges, which is why Mississippi has the number of junior colleges it does, because junior colleges get a lot of attention. Because I
Yeah.
mean, who's really gonna fly into New Orleans or fly into Memphis to drive all the way through Mississippi to really watch a player play? You don't just have that luxury of being somewhere like Texas or Georgia where somebody can fly in Atlanta or fly in these smaller airports or fly in these other cities and go
Hmm.
watch a player. But it definitely just comes to, first of all, being on top of your stuff, being an athlete that does have the grades, being an athlete that isn't any in trouble. So that way, when you do get seen, they don't have to knock you because of those things that you haven't taken care of off the field. But just going to camps really, and going to camps, not mega camps where it's 40 and 50 different schools there and 600 kids, but going actually to individual camps and allowing coaches to really work with you hands on and really showing them, okay, this is, okay, like who is that guy? Where's he from? What high school he's from. And that's why I always
Gotcha.
encourage high school players. The mega camps are cool when you're a 4-star, 5-star. I remember Cam Akers was I want to say 5-star. And, when we went to Memphis camp, him and Willie Gay, uh, not Memphis, we went to camp at Pearl High School, and the whole University of Michigan staff came down to Mississippi to run the camp. But they had
Mm,
40 colleges there, and those guys were the highlight of the camp. Like everybody came to see those guys.
I
So if
gotcha.
you're not able to get up and go against those guys, you're probably not going to be seen. So that's why the high school, I went to Southern Miss camp, I went to Mississippi State camp, I went to Ole Miss camp. I went to Memphis camp. Go to more of the school camp so the coaches can get you hands on, get able to work with you, see you, the way you move and things like that.
I gotcha. Yeah, because we're we live in Slidell. We're not far from New Orleans. There's really only been two players that I know from here that made it to the league. One was Matt Forte. Obviously, he was like the biggest one. My brother went to a school with this dude named Christopher Falk.
I went to school with him too.
Yeah, he was an All-American.
He ended up going to LSU.
Yeah, he went to LSU, got drafted by the Browns. I think it was like in the 3rd or 4th round.
He bounced around a little bit.
It's due to injury, really. Like he just couldn't stay healthy, unfortunately, and that really pretty much kind of derailed his football career was the injuries. And one thing I wanted to bring, have y'all seen a guy, come in and be explosive with talent, but then injuries just kind of derailed where he was going?
Yeah, Kenyon Walker. Kenyon Walker was he now plays at not Murray State, Larry?
Murray State, I think.
Yeah, he plays at Murray State now. And he was somebody that came in actually in the recruiting class with me and Dorian, early enrollee, had the size, had the talent, got injured the first spring. The first spring he was in college, got injured, and stayed hurt really all 4 years that I was at Tulane. He never got to play. And at some point he was about to get medically DQ'd, but he just fought through it, had multiple surgeries during his time at Tulane. Last year he took the role as being our signal guy, and helping us on the sidelines, and he finally got his opportunity to transfer and play ball. Murray State gave him an opportunity, and he's been balling this year. I think he has about 40 tackles on the season. He was a team captain last week. So a lot of people don't know about his story, but man, he's a very resilient guy. To go your whole college career, not being able to play, and then finally really go and now play college football after your 4th year and got your degree. It's a true testimony, because at some point, they were trying to make him hang the cleats up, but he just, had that willpower to say, no, I'm going to get back on the field. I'm going to experience playing college football.
It's hard to hang the cleats up.
Yeah.
We've been out of school since 13.
This man got to look up and look at the timeline.
That's what I'm saying. Right?
How long?
It's been so long since I put it it's been about 10 years or whatever. But me and Jake have been playing ball since junior high or something.
I've been playing since Little League.
I'm talking about together.
Together? Oh yeah, junior high. Yeah, we played junior high, high school.
We've played from junior high, high school, after high
even
school,
out of high school. Yeah,
street ball, flag, touch, everything, and it's just we're at the age now to where we need to hang them up, but we don't want to hang them up.
Hey, I don't. We were out there playing with high schoolers a couple months ago.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, we were playing on the old Slidell High field.
High school, some of the high school kids come out and play with us. We get them ready and everything. So, but I do want to ask y'all. Take me through how y'all were feeling after the championship game, the Cotton Bowl. What was the feeling like on top of being down the score, and then coming back, having Pratt, throw the touchdowns with Tajay, tearing them up, y'all's defense. What was the experience like living that moment?
So you want to know championship game, or you want to know Cotton Bowl?
Cotton Bowl, my bad.
Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, definitely Cotton Bowl.
Cotton Bowl, I would say, going through the game, it was we just need one stop. We just need one more stop, and we will win this game. We never felt like we were out the game, even though it was two score. It was a 2-score game. But yeah, we never felt like we were out the game. We was we just literally need one stop, and we had a big play. We kicked it down there and on kickoff, and he fumbled the ball out of bounds. Mario Williams.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yep.
The next play, we got the safety, and
it was just downhill from there.
The momentum just
completely switched. Yeah. I don't know if y'all ever seen a movie called Little Giants. You ever seen a movie called Little Giants?
Yeah.
It's always been my favorite movie growing up. There's a part where they're starting to come back on the Cowboys team, and the commentator goes, "Seems like Mr. Momentum may be changing his address." And I still to this day say
Oh,
that
no.
when I'm watching comebacks in a game, bro. I swear to God, I still say that. Because
Yeah.
momentum is a real thing. I don't care what anybody says. It is real.
For sure.
The Cotton Bowl. The Cotton Bowl game was, oh man, it was a day. It was a day because I woke up that morning and I was so emotional because I'm like, here we are. I remember first getting to Tulane, and Tulane was a school that nobody talked about football wise. You know, you go to the game. I remember my first career game at Tulane. We played FIU, and the stadium was empty. Like we beat the brakes off them, but the stadium was empty. And just being in Dallas and knowing that we're about to play in the Cotton Bowl, knowing that we just won a championship. Like we're going to play in the Cotton Bowl against USC, against the
Yep.
Heisman Trophy winner. It was like so many emotions. And then I remember going to the game on the bus, and I just started crying. Like I just started crying because I'm like, man, this is going to be my last time playing with these guys. Like my time at Tulane is going to be over with in 24 hours as far as, you know, putting on the um, olive green and blue jerseys. And so, man, I was emotional. We get to Dallas Cowboy Stadium. We going down the tunnel. I'm crying. Dorian looking at me like, why the hell you crying? And I was just like, man, like, I love y'all, man. I really love y'all boys, man. We finna go to war one last time.
Yeah, it's just a culmination of like 4 years, and now you made it to a spot in your career that if you win this game, you're made in history, and
Right.
number two, can't nobody ever take that away from you, like
Okay.
at all.
And so we get to the stadium, and we're getting ready to warm up. And usually, I like to chill before when I get to stay and walk around the field. You got the media people coming saying, Nick, okay, we're gonna mic you up. So I couldn't go out in the field to really warm up because I had to wait to get mic'd up. And then you got to make the long walk. And I get out there, you got 3 cameras following me while I'm trying to get settled. And I'm trying to really soak everything in because I'm like, you only get to play in the Cotton Bowl like once. And so I'm trying to soak everything in. You got cameras following me all through the pregame, and then I get out there, start stretching, and they had some Cotton Bowl ceremony about to go on the field. So I don't really get to warm up like I want to. I got to go back in. They got to take the mics off. So I get in the locker room, and I'm like, okay, like this is the biggest game of my career. I didn't get to warm up, and I'm starting to like stress a little bit. And then it's time to get a speech. So last year, Coach Fritz bestowed the honor on me being one of the captains to always give the pregame speeches. So I went to the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and I was like, man, like, you know, shaking everything off. Like you're about to play in the Cotton Bowl. Like y'all deserve this. Y'all goal is to win the game. Y'all goal is not just to be here and say, oh, we played in the Cotton Bowl. No, we're gonna win. We're gonna win the game. And you got to go out there and you got to talk to the team one last time. And so I just went out there and I just told him, man, like how much of an honor it's been to, you know, be their captain, and to really not discredit everything that we went through to get here, and that this was the last chapter in the book, and let's write it off and let's do it big. And so we go out there in the game, and it's like we do the handshake, and it's like Caleb Williams, he walk out, and it's like this is the Heisman Trophy winner. Everybody's about to cut this game on, like. It was.
Yeah, I sure cut the game on. I know that for a fact.
So we dap him up, and his swagger was just like lax. You can tell he was just lax. Like, okay, like we can play.
Like he here for the moment type shit.
Yeah, like USC used to this. Like, okay, so you know we shake his hand and stuff, and so we get on defense first. So I'm like, okay, let's go. We get out on defense. You know, we get a big stop. Second down, it gets third down. They convert. We get to second down again, another third down conversion. We get to second down again. He drops back, evades a sack, third down conversion. So now we on the field. It's 12 plays. And so I'm like, okay, this is our first drive, man. We're on the field for 12 plays. And so they run a flea flicker. I blitz, I add in, I smash him. He throws a laser, almost a cop for a touchdown. I smash him. I get up. I'm like, man, I just hit the Heisman Trophy winner. He slaps me on my butt, say, good hit, Wayne, and jogs back. Next play, throw a dime down the field. They get down there. So at this point, I'm like, man, this guy is like, I smashed him. Like he spelled all 230 me. Like I really like. I'm thinking any other quarterback we played in the AAC, like he's gonna be rattled the rest of the game. Like he's like it didn't phase him. You know, he had a mouthpiece chewing on it, and it never phased him. So that's when I knew, okay, it's gonna be a legit game. Like this is not
Yeah.
gonna be like one of those games that we just come out and have our way with somebody. We're really gonna have to put our best foot forward. And so, like Larry said, the whole game from that point forward was a fighting match. And then offensively, we were firing all cylinders. The offense was scoring like
Yeah.
two. So you got a defense that we're playing pretty good. We're giving up explosives, but we're making them earn everything. Like we're having 12 to 15 play drives, and then you got an offense scoring in 2 plays. So
Yeah.
I was on special teams because Coach Fritz he won't starters on special teams. So I'm coming off the field after a 15-play drive. Ty Jaden broke 2 tackles and went for a 75-yard touchdown and scored in 3 plays. And now I got to go right back on kickoff. So
Tired as hell.
I'm like, okay,
Let's
I'm
just
glad
help it off.
scoring because they keep the game. But I'm like, Ty J, can y'all score in like 7 plays? Like, let me get some water. So we're spazzing out. We go into halftime. At halftime, you got to make the long walk, and a lot of the stuff that we had at Tulane, as far as like cold tubs and certain stuff that you would do at halftime, they didn't really have at Cowboy Stadium because it's a bowl game. You can't really it's not going to be exactly how it is for a home game.
Right.
So the nerves going. We come out in the third quarter, and I feel that's when they jumped up on us, and jumped us by 2 scores. And I remember, missing a tackle and receiver getting the first down, and I'm frustrated because I'm like, man, I don't never miss tackles. Like, why are we missing so many tackles? But keep in mind, we haven't tackled somebody, like actually tackled somebody in a month.
Oh
So
yeah, I forget you have that little time frame between when
and
you
that,
play and when your last game.
and that definitely, takes a toll on you. You haven't really put the pass on and brought somebody to the ground in a month. So we were missing a lot of tackles. So I never forget. I missed the tackle. The next play, Dorian told me I got up. I was like, man. Dorian was like, man, keep your head up. You gonna make the next one. The very next play, Dorian misses a tackle, gets shook. The running back runs up the sideline. Dorian dives and wipes out a camera lady, and the guy scores a touchdown. Like Dorian
Oh,
completely missed them, wipes out the camera lady. They score a touchdown, and Dorian, he's pissed. So we go into the sideline. Both of us are pissed because, like, we're like, man, we playing our worst football right now. That they're scoring at will. And I'll never forget our linebacker coach, Coach Moose. I love him to death. He sat in between both of us and put his arms around us. And he was like, fellas, like, I want y'all to take a minute and just look around. And so I hadn't noticed the crowd the whole game. So I just look up and I see the Jumbotron, and I'm looking around, and it's a sea of green behind us.
yeah.
Like, I didn't know that Tulane had traveled that well until that moment in the game. Like, I didn't know it was that full. Our whole sideline was full. Every level was packed. And Coach Moose was like, we're gonna win the game, but y'all just enjoy this moment. Like, it's the Cotton Bowl. You're never gonna be able to say that you played in the Cotton Bowl again. You're never gonna be able to put these jerseys on and play with each other for the Tulane Green Wave ever again. So go out here and just do your thing. We're gonna win this game, but you guys got to keep your head and really just enjoy the moment. So that's when me and Dorian just said, okay, let's go out there and play football. And we ended up balling. And then the kickoff, like Larry said, happened. The guy fumbled the ball out of bounds. And we knew, like, when he did that, when he caught the kickoff and threw the ball out of bounds, we said, we're going to win. We're going to win the game. Like,
Yeah.
hey, let's go score on defense. And then Pat had the hell of a hit in the backfield. I came help him clean up. And when we had that safety, man, it erupted. Like, the fans went crazy. And like you said, man, the momentum flipped and offense fired on all cylinders. We finally got a third down stop where I think they kicked the field goal and missed, turnover on downs. And Michael Pratt on that last drive, and a lot of people don't realize it, on that last drive, it came down to a 4th down. And Pratt scrambled and got it by, I want to say, a yard.
Mm-hmm.
Year prior, we played Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma, in Oklahoma. And it was the same type of situation. We was on the last drive. Our offense could have went down and scored. Pratt scrambled, and he came up an inch short. They had to measure. Came up this short. And so to see that go full circle, he's playing against Lincoln Riley again and scramble and actually gets the first down this time. I said, we're gonna win. I said we're destined to win. This is supposed to happen. Like it was a storybook ending. Alex Ballman gets the great catch to extend the drive and then drive it down the field again. And the catch happens in the end zone. We knew it was a touchdown, and it was a storybook day, man. It really was a hell of a game. One of the best games I ever played in, even though the defensively we gave up 40 points. But man, it was a hell of an experience, man, and I'm blessed to say that I was a part of that.
I'll tell you what, watching that touchdown review, I just what the fuck? and then I didn't see the ball hit the ground. I'm like, he scored. Shit.
I mean, it was shit and bricks.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wow, this really just happened in front of us.
Yeah.
Watching the offense move down the field, it was like a script. It's like a script that they go. It's like a 2-minute script.
They go through it,
and it's the same exact plays, same position of the field. So it was like we just watching it. Like we've seen this before already of them just practicing this, and it just clicked all the way down the field. And it was amazing just to see that. And it was like every what was that, fourth down? We had like 2 fourth down conversions. Yeah, and it was like, all right, we have to get this. We don't get this, the game's like the game is pretty much over. It was like, and we got it every time. It was like, this is crazy.
Well, that's probably gonna where my last question comes into play is now I know you played in Texas and football like in Texas is ginormous. It's basically a second religion. Yeah, it's a second religion. So I understand like how the crowds could be out there. What's the like, how does it feel playing for like a high school crowd and you're playing like a normal crowd, but then you get in that Cotton Bowl and you're in this huge stadium with this gigantic jumbotron and these seats are full, like 50,000, 30, in between 40 to 50,000 people in there scream. Like, what's that like?
So I played in front of I played in Cowboy Stadium like 4 times. I played in the Texas State Championship. So it was kind of like that, but it was just at the college level. Like, because the Texas State Championship is just not like the schools that come. It's like everyone, like whoever wants to come see.
Like
Texas
football,
State. It's all day thing. Like, it's games going on all day. So it's like thousands of people there that's not even from your school. They're from like different schools, and there's everybody just watching. So it's probably maybe around the same number of people, but the Cotton Bowl is definitely different because it's the Cotton Bowl and we playing against the Heisman Trophy winner. But playing in front of big crowds, it was like the same. And playing in Cowboy Stadium, it was. So I actually played my last high school football game in the Cowboy Stadium, and I played my last college game in the Cowboy Stadium.
That's dope. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, what about you, Nick? I know you come from a smaller school, smaller places. What's that like seeing all those people out there in that Cotton Bowl?
Man, it was crazy. Just being inside Jerry's world. I had been there before, but I had never played in that stadium. But to see everybody and to be actually on the field playing football was amazing. However, that was not the highlight of last year, in my opinion. Playing in the conference championship.
Was
the conference championship was an experience that if I wake up tomorrow and I had to choose one to remember for the rest of my life, I'm choosing the conference championship game. Simply because the year before we won one conference game, we went 2-10, and we solidified the goal at January before the season even started, before the spring or even winter workout started, that the conference championship was the standard, that we will go out this year, we will win a conference championship. Nobody talked about the Cotton Bowl. Nobody, that wasn't the back of our minds. We were like, okay, we're going to win a championship because we know what it's like to lose, and we're not going to lose. And so,
as I said, y'all went undefeated that season, right? Y'all went completely undefeated, right?
We lost 2 games. We lost to Southern.
2 games, okay.
That was a non-conference game, and then we lost to UCF, and then played them again in the championship game and beat them.
That's what it was. Okay.
That whole season was like, we championship. Like we preached that every single day. Like nobody was talking about, oh, I'm gonna win this, I'm gonna win that. No, conference championship. Like it was cemented in our minds. That's the only thing we talked about every day. Like if you're talking about anything other than conference championship, you're likely to get jumped in the locker room. Like talked about and discussed was the conference championship. And so to go through the season, knowing that was the goal, and then to get the week of the conference championship, and I'll never forget that Sunday going up to the locker room, and I was at the field every day that week because they set up the banners because we hosted it.
I'm about to say, yeah, that was in Tulane, right? Yeah,
it was in Youre. Yeah. So knowing that we were hosting the conference championship in Tulane, and like I told you before, my first game in Tulane was FIU. You barely had 600 people in the stands, and the conference championship game was completely sold out.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that went to that game too.
And it was played at Yeoman, and the fans were able to rush the field. You got the fireworks coming up. Like, we really just did this for Tulane. Like, we hadn't won the championship game since '98.
Yeah. Well, wait. Hold on. Y'all hadn't won a conference championship since '98?
We had not played in the conference championship since '98.
Wow.
And so to be a part of history for this school, for this program, to have, fans rushing the field, I'm like, bro, this is Tulane. Like, last year, you ask somebody on campus, are they going to the game? They don't know where the stadium is. Like, they didn't even know like that Tulane. A lot of them didn't even know Tulane had a football team. They were like, okay, y'all got a game Saturday? Like, we're college football in New Orleans, and you got students on campus asking us, do we have a game on Saturday? That's how bad we were as far as like our record. And
it's a full game going on.
Yeah, y'all came out of nowhere. I'll be honest. Yeah. We pay attention. We pay attention to the rankings and everything. And next thing you know, we saw Tulane, steady climbing. I'm like, yo, what's going on down there? Like, I'm not used to seeing Tulane winning games like that.
That's what I said.
And to for that to be my last memory of having on the jersey and playing in Yeoman Stadium, that's something that I hold dear to my heart. And that was my highlight. Like, winning the Cotton Bowl was a plus. It added on to that. But even playing in the Cotton Bowl, we wouldn't have played in the Cotton Bowl if we had lost the championship game. So
I was gonna ask y'all, do y'all, after y'all won the championship, what was that like waiting period like to see if y'all were gonna get in one of the New Year's Six bowl games and stuff like that? Did y'all hear like any news about that it was possible?
Yeah, so we knew that we would be playing
in the Cotton Bowl.
We just because the highest group of 5 school, which was us at the time, our ranking was the highest. And we knew that winning that game, we would be playing in the Cotton Bowl because that was the New York City bid. Like, even after we won, they were handing out cotton candy at the game. Like, so we knew we was going to be playing them. It just was like, okay, are we playing Alabama or USC? That's what it came down to, trying to see, okay, how the rankings fall with USC losing their championship game, and Alabama not playing the championship game. Like, would they be in the playoffs or not? And seeing like, okay, which team we would play.
That'd have been a tough game against Alabama.
Yeah, that would have been a tough one. That would have been a tough one. But the conference championship for sure was unbelievable. Like, if I could go back in time and put a GoPro inside my mind to let everybody see what I saw that night, like, you got fans that have been fans of Tulane for 60 years crying, like talking about, man, you made my life. I can die now. Like, legit, like legit people telling you, like, man, I have a wife, I have kids, but this is the best day of my life.
It's like that, bro. It's like, a lot of people don't get it, man. Football's like that out here. I mean, but when I watched the Giants win 2 Super Bowls, had nothing to do with the team. I damn near cried after the first one. Like, I was only like 13 when we first won. I damn near cried because I never thought I'd ever seen him win a Super Bowl. You figure, I know people who have been fans of, like, the Cardinals their whole lives. They've never won a Super Bowl. I don't know, like how could, I don't know that feeling anymore. Because I've seen them win twice. So to be a part of it though has got to be something completely different. Man. And I know I speak for myself and for Jared when I say congratulations to both of y'all, and congratulations on the season that y'all had there, especially it being y'all's last season. to make history like that and put Tulane on the map, because we, especially me and him and a lot of our football friends, we had no inclination that y'all were going to be any kind of good going into that season.
Let alone beating USC in the Cotton Bowl too.
Exactly.
Like I told Larry before the season, I'm a big spiritual guy, and I just told him like, man, God got something in store for us, especially dealing with everything that we dealt with as a team collectively, with the hurricane the season before, being displaced and having to go to Birmingham. Me and him and multiple other guys dealing with injuries, guys dealing with family issues off the field. I just was like, man, this is our time to win, and for God to bless us with what we did and really give us an opportunity to go out and finish something so historically. Like we didn't just have a winning season and go play in a bowl game. No, we won the conference championship and played in the Cotton Bowl. Like that's something that teams can't do. Like, I mean, you got Power 5 schools that never reach a conference championship, that never reach a New Year's Six bowl, and we were able to do that our last year. Man, it's a hell of a blessing, man, and I'm just glad that we was a part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's up, man. Well, I think that's where we're gonna end it, gentlemen. We appreciate everything. We appreciate y'all coming on, big time talking. We're both big football guys, so hearing like the behind the scenes stuff and the ins and outs of everything is real eye opening, not only for us, but I know for some of our listeners that don't really know how it goes, behind the scenes of when you're playing college or in the NFL. So we really appreciate y'all coming on, giving perspective and letting us talk with y'all.
No problem. Sure. Appreciate y'all for having us.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, but as always, thank you to our people who came in, watched, like, subscribe, all that good stuff they do on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Do y'all have y'all want to shout out y'all's podcast and stuff like that?
Most definitely. We want to start talking on all platforms. Be sure to follow us on social media, because every week we're dropping something on there, whether it's a poll, whether it's segments for the upcoming show. This week we will have our first special guest. We haven't made her public yet, but we will be releasing that later on in the week. But it's something that's up and growing. And we would love the support from everybody.
Definitely. Well, we'll be tuning in for sure. And we'll definitely keep in touch with y'all. And hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Oh, yeah, bet.
Appreciate you.
All right, y'all.
All right, well
thank y'all, everybody. Y'all have a good one.
Sure.